So, Achille, I know you aren't one for talking about yourself, but is there something you can tell us about how you got to Sandgil?
Well, it all started the day I was born.
Hello.
Hello.
Take two.
Hello for the second time. How are you doing today,
I'm
Shaylee?
doing wonderful.
Uh,
This is gonna be great. This is gonna be good. I'm so excited.
as am I.
I was excited when we started talking about it. So
Yes, it's fun to go into the backstory of characters.
yes. And the beautiful artwork. Let's not forget the beautiful artwork.
It's okay.
Oh no, it's beautiful. You stop it.
No,
Get loved on.
incorrect.
But this poor skittish bean.
This anxious Frenchman. Sorry. Serious business.
This poor skittish bean is about to get thrown into the washing machine with no safety on.
Yeah, they took off the childproof locks.
Yeah. And he's about to get wrecked.
Yep. Which, as audience might notice, if you have looked at Achille's art before, he's missing a little something on his face. And we might get into where that came from.
Yeah. Maybe. We should. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Unless something tragic happens.
Yeah. Unless a plane crashes directly into my home.
Or mine.
Or yours. True.
I live not but a mile from an airport, so this is why I can never record during the day.
Yeah.
But
accursed planes.
Shall we get started?
I believe so.
"'Tis the day after you got your letter. You've been accepted into the Villian Army boot camp. And you didn't waste any time.
Yeah.
your mother and grandfather are there as you wanted to leave when your younger siblings weren't there. Just to
lessen the blow.
Lessen the pain and the blow, yeah. So your mother and grandfather are standing there on the balcony, on the porch. Achille, please don't.
Manam, it's Ezekiel's gently placing the meager things he has into a rucksack.
Mm-hmm.
It's better this way.
You are not cut out for this.
No one is, but if anyone should go, it should be me. Just the math of it, it's not... The fields get worse every year, and the price of milk goes up every day. There needs to be less expense and more income, and this is the only method. Skill, like, very heavily focused on his pack, trying not to... Avoiding the gaze is the better way to describe it, of his mother and grandfather.
You don't want to end up like Andre or Louis, do you?
Well, maybe I fucking have to. If someone is... We all knew I was going to die young. That's just a fact. Be it from a wave of disease, or just cruelty, or if a fucking draft is implemented. Someone... It's better for me to die in a way that is going to help, rather than harm us. Alright?
You are not cut out for war. I can't lose another child. You see your grandfather place a hand on her shoulder. Let him go if he wants to. You can see it in his eyes, he ain't gonna give up.
And if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to. Well, we all know what happens to deserters. This is a sort of almost morbid joke. An attempt at levity which falls flat.
Mm-hmm.
I will try my best to survive.
She doesn't say anything more. She just stands there and watches you. You finish lacing up your rucksack, putting it on your back. As you take a step off, you feel the arms of your mother surround you. Please come home.
If I can, I will. Is he like, in so much as he can, sort of hug her back?
She holds you that way for a few. Even though there's tension within your house, she's still your mother and she still loves you and you know it.
Mm-hmm.
I pray to Shmala you return.
sure it would go through. There's a light tightness to his eyes, a rejection of the faith that Achille can't bear to bring up in front of his mother, especially not right now. I'm sure everything will be alright. But I really must get going. So, like, sort of gently unlatch her arms from around him.
She just stands there, watching you. Don't worry about us. Go
Both
to...
know I will anyway.
Go make us proud.
Curse, Grandfather. Curse, Massa. As Achille nod and start his trek. I will say, probably before fully leaving the farmstead, or the farmland, more accurately, Achille will wander quietly by, well, where they burned the last remnants of Andre and Louis, and where Ariel and his father are buried, and say a final goodbye before heading off to the boot.
You know, as you go there, it is visible from the house, and as you approach, you do see your mother and grandfather still standing there, just trying to soak up the last visions of you. And then you eventually leave and head to Vilta. You make your way there to just outside of the city, where you begin your training. After your training is finished, you successfully graduated and became part of the Villian army. It was a good day in your eyes. You got to join the Unit 169 under the tutelage of one of your teachers within Boot, Major Carmen Durand.
Mhm.
As I bring up... Come on. Foundry work with me here. Thank you.
D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond. Major Carmen Durand really took you under your wing, their wing. They taught you a lot of things. In fact, the bow that you now bear was a gift from them.
Mm-hmm. Won a cross-unit archery competition. A little bit of levity before deployment.
Which, the day of deployment arrives. You and your unit were tasked to go to the war room that is attached to your barracks. In there, as you arrive, you see your captain, Captain Jean-Claude, or not Jean-Claude. Yeah, Jean-Claude. I was right. Was I right?
Yeah.
No, I was
Yeah.
not.
Oh no. Oh no.
Give me a second. Jean Moreau. There we go.
Jean Moreau. There we go.
I had the Jean right.
Hey, happens to the best of us.
Captain Jean Moreau. He's been your specific unit captain ever since Unit 169 was established. Standing next to him, of course, is Major Carmen Duran. But you also see another figure there, someone that you have seen through the years since you've gotten out of boot. You know him to be Major Dramir Valentine. Major Valentine and Major Durand are best friends. Jean Moreau, Captain Jean Moreau, is also kind of in this trio. They definitely have been some of the most caring people that you have met within the Villian army. And you've met enough now that you know a lot of the Villian army doesn't really care for its soldiers, but these three in particular definitely care for their soldiers. They start...
An uncommon empathy, I believe,
Yes.
is the terminology often used.
Yes. And they start going over into the plan. Good evening, soldiers. It is with great, I guess, joy to let you know that we have been summoned to start. As you know, the Villian army does a lot of conquests. And this here has absolutely been decided by the crown that we are going to try to push the line in Ultris this year. You all have been decided to be the lead unit. Now, and then he starts going into this long briefing over the plan. The plan is just basically to arrive to the edge of the torrent, making sure that all the other units, which you are joined by 2 other units, and mages from 3 other additional units would be joining you. Units 182 and 190 are going to be kind of like the second wave. 169 is this first wave to kind of start pushing back the guard.
The advanced party.
The advanced party. Units 170, 175, and 192's, their mages are going to be there and casting water breathing in long stride on all of you to make sure you can get through the Torrent River against its current from underneath the water. Then he goes in. We have word, thanks to Major Valentine here, that the scouts have said the best time to attack is around 9 o'clock in the morning. It's right when guard shift changes. So we will be there the week before, roughly, to make sure that the other units have places to stay along the other side of the torrent, and then we will start to move once everything is in place. Any questions? He waits.
I believe he'll sort of... There's a part of him that wants to, and then a grander realization of... There's nothing to question here. just acceptance, for lack of a better term.
Mhm.
Sort of try to slink, despite his position somewhere near the front of these, just rank and file, almost try to slink himself into the background as much as he can.
Mhm. All right. You all are dismissed. Prepare for the next day. We move out. Early morning. So get some rest. Eventually, one by one, the units. Are you? It is. Ah,
Oh
I
no.
tried.
You did.
I tried. It's
Happens to the best of us.
fine. All the units leave. Actually, you know what? We're just going to do this because I can. Toggle visibility state. There we go. All of the rest of your unit mates leave. And you are kind of still standing there with your commanding officers. In fact, you do watch as Jean Moreau does leave. Heads out. Leaving. Okay. Sorry.
No.
It's something on my end.
Do not worry.
What? There we go. You notice that Carmen and Dramir are still standing there. Carmen looks over to you. Achille.
Yes, Major Crumb, as Akil will sort of immediately enter a. That's it. It's a rough salute, not due to a lack of effort, but due to anxiety.
You see Carmen go, Achille, it's just us. You can drop the ranks.
Understood. If I may question something,
Of course.
why Sandgil?
It's a port town. Honestly, I personally would not be sending you to Sandgil. I would have preferred if we went to one of the smaller port towns, but orders from the crown. I guess because Sandgil may be a major port town along the Torrent. Dramir pipes up. Yeah, one of the major port towns. It's fall. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely would cripple Ultrace. But I'm like you, Carmen. Bad idea. Ultrace has some of the more stronger militaries. Fortuna, to our south, has the strongest. So, I hate to say it, but I have a feeling we're sending our men to the slaughter.
I will say it. At the words of slaughter, it's not relaxation, but more so the cold comfort of your worries being founded and acknowledged as correct. Kill will politely nod. Understood. Sleep with. As he will leave the room to the barracks.
Achille, wait.
I'm just... Yes?
Listen, I can sense your fear. You know I know you. Don't be afraid to run.
Achille's face will sharpen a little is the best way to describe it. Harden, even.
Mm-hmm.
A light glare. Desertion fears would bankrupt them. I'm not about to leave the only people in this country who matter to rot. As he'll, with a bit more anger in his step, leave.
I will make sure your family is taken care of. You have my word.
My thanks. It's very obvious Achille doesn't believe him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's best chance, and, well, Achille thinks he's heading to the slaughterhouse tomorrow anyway. He will head off to the unit's barracks to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Let me,
Roll me a perception.
You got it, bossman. That is a 24.
You definitely hear a bit of the conversation after you leave. Jameer, do you really think anyone will survive? I pray somebody does. All of these cadets are straight out of boot. I wish they chose some of the older units, at least. But 3 of the most recent? I know. All we can do is pray for their survival. Night, Trey. Night, Carmen. Then you hear the shutting of a door. Just as you start to drift off to sleep. The next morning, you wake. It's still very dark and gloomy. Your unit mates all prepare. That morning, you're told that 3 separate groups will be leaving in staggered leaving patterns. Your particular group was going to head out that morning. The next group would head out about midday, and the final group would head out just before sunset. Carmen approaches you.
Yes, Major Thrund.
Sorry about last night. I'm sorry if I offended you.
Hey. Apologies for the disrespect, but this is the only chance my family has. I can't risk running and them suffering the pains of my cowardice.
I'm gonna be honest, Achille.
Thank you.
If anyone has a chance to survive, it's you.
Thank you for the vote of confidence.
After
Is
all, that bow on your back is proof that you are good at what you do.
I'll have to take your word for it.
I will be leaving with the final group. Of course, your captain will be leaving with the second group. So we have agreed that you will be in charge of the first group. I know. Don't worry. The ones in your group and you will be fine. I know that was probably a surprise.
Oh god. As Keel's face, it's sheer panic. He is not suited for leadership.
Carmen lays a hand on Achille's shoulder. Trust yourself, my friend.
All right.
You'll be fine. Now, ready up.
Understood.
Your group is leaving in 10.
Understood. As Achille will get going and get gone.
Mm-hmm. And thus, your trek. Whoops, wrong one. That's okay. Your trek to the point that you were shown on a map begins. You are given a map of the path that you're to take. You are actually going out near Fort Laurent. And it takes you a good few hours to get to the border. As you go through the mountain path, this mountain path is actually kind of carved within the mountain range itself. So what would have taken 6 hours takes about 3, thanks to this path that's been carved out. And you make it to Fort Laurent, where you guys stop and get your last bit of supplies. This is the supplies that will make it look like you're just simple merchants. As you spend only an hour there, the magnitude of what's about to happen kind of hits you.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think Achille has. He's sort of best way to describe it is a mix of catastrophizing and planning. Sort of figuring out, okay, if I'm going to die here, how will his family? What's the how can this be best turned for his family? Best way to describe it. He's probably already sent and requested paper for his bereavement pay to be sent to the farm, of course, but.
Well, go ahead.
Were he a man of faith, he would pray, but mostly right now he's just sort of planning out the route ahead, trying to figure out. They're all sent to the slaughter when they get there, so might as well not die on the road.
Mm-hmm. You, as you're in Fort Laurent, while you were on your way there, you weren't wearing any, you weren't wearing your colors. You're wearing traveler's clothes, but one of the things they discussed is that your pins that will go on your uniform when you start to attack were to be picked up at Fort Laurent.
Mm-hmm.
And as you guys are there, the soldiers of Fort Laurent are gearing up your cart to look like a merchant's cart while hiding your weapons and whatnot. You, of course, have a bow on your back, and it looks like you're one of the protectors. That's your role in this. You're one of the soldiers that these merchants have hired to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the soldiers comes up and hands you your emblem. You turn it over, and your name is engraved on the back. And the soldier is like, "This is you, correct?"
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Very.
Be safe. Runs off, goes in and hands out the rest. After a while, you hear one of the other soldiers. "All right, you're ready to go."
We'll sort of try and gather everybody up to get going.
Mm-hmm.
Get on the road.
And on the road you go. You see on your map a few places that you could stop at if you needed to resupply for food. It's going to take you about 3 to 4 days to get to your marked location on your map. You definitely can see that your unit 169 is pretty much taking the most direct route. You can see also on your map kind of where 190 and 182 are going to take. You also have orders that once you get to your part of the Torrent River, once you have set up, to go and prepare other places for the others. You're there. You're the advanced group. You're there to prepare for this pushing into Sandgil.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to make sure that there's places that the rest of the units can go. The biggest thing that was told to you is don't clump.
Mm-hmm.
Spread out.
Don't be suspicious.
Exactly. And thus, you begin your journey. By the end of day 1, you just make it into Shurta. You camp just within the borders. Your meal was meh. Wasn't the best, but it was food. Day 2, you guys push forward some more. And you stop in a little town on the way, just to kind of act like merchants.
Mm-hmm.
You sell some quote-unquote wares. As you arrived at that town, the guards looked over your cart. Didn't find anything suspicious, but it definitely gave you a moment where you were hoping to whatever that you wouldn't be caught. You make your way to the next camp. So far, the journey has been quiet. It's been easy. Almost too easy. But you just simply chalked it up to maybe people have gotten bad skills.
And foolish.
This night in particular, the sky is pretty clear. You
You'll
decided.
probably.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
I was gonna say you decided to
probably-
take first watch.
Yeah, I was pretty much going to say the same thing. I will say, Akil probably finds his eyes rising up quite often, sort of mentally tracing out constellations. Doesn't know the name of many, only a few big ones. But he can't help himself just from looking up. How very small they all are. How very big everything is. There's a beauty in that.
Mm-hmm.
That how small they all seem to be soldiers, how even the nations, just the infinity of the night sky.
Yeah. Eventually, the next watch goes on and you take your rest. And then you continue the next journey. Day 3. You get almost to the point. This one has been a particular gloomy day. You decided to stop early, just so the horses for the cart could get out of the rain. You guys could get out of the rain, and you guys stopped in a small town. And then, of course, you put on the act.
Merchants selling wares.
Merchants selling wares.
I will say, Akil probably does something a little foolish.
Alright.
But he, as he said, he's masquerading as one of the caravanner guards. So, wander off a little. Probably, in my mind, just sort of examine the town a little. If he finds a group of children playing, might, teach them a couple tricks with stones and string. Hell, card tricks even. Just something to bring a little bit of joy. Perhaps something to alleviate some of his guilt for what they are going to do.
Mm-hmm. Roll a general charisma.
You got it. Sorry.
No, this is perfect.
Yeah, it's just very funny.
As you're doing these little tricks, little girl goes, Is that the best you got?
That's a little mean.
Come on, Carl. Let's go. The little girl just drags her little brother away.
He will
Go
still
ahead.
smile at it. Sort of. It's nice to see people being happy, even if it's partially at, his expense. A bit of. If there's a bit of laughter at his, let's keep it real, lack of skill in this. He's accepting of it. It's nice to just see people be happy for a bit.
Mm-hmm. You feel one of your unit mates come and clap you on the shoulder. Well, can't win them all.
I'd like to win a few.
That was a good trick, though.
Thank you.
Come on. The guys and I, we are headed to get some dinner before we head in for the night.
All right.
And go. You rest. The next morning is a little better. It's still kind of gloomy, but it's not raining.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then you all finally make your way to the point on the Torrent River. You can see from your map there's a town that's but a few hours away, which is a small little port town. It's not big by any means, but it's only a few hours away, so maybe once you get set up, you probably could head over there or just stay there for the night, go over. But all of your members start working on getting the camp set up, going and getting the other spots for the camps all set up. Some of that is clearing brush away, trying to not knock down any trees if they can help it. A few hours after arriving here, the second part of your unit arrives and joins with getting everything ready to go. A few hours after that, the final couple of the final unit arrives. And they say, oh, the rest of the unit is coming. They sent us ahead because the cart had a wheel pop off. So they're right behind us. By nightfall, the rest of the unit makes their way there. And you all sit down, have food, but then go to bed. You realize that Major Durand wasn't with this final group. Your captain says Durand's on their way. They got held up. Don't worry. And after a few days, 190, and 182 have made it to their posts, and Durand finally shows up. Your unit finally sits down by the campfire after Duran shows up. Duran sits down, eats dinner, like, with the rest of you. All right, 169. I have your task for you. At 9 a.m., we're going to push the guards just like we planned. But I have an additional thing I need you all to do. Only the bravest warriors are to be chosen and done for this. And I trust you all will be on board. There's a schoolhouse near the docks. What a better way to show Villian power than attack the most vulnerable? John, you see kind of John shakes his head. You mean attack children? Well, hopefully there wouldn't be any children there. We'll get there before the day starts. Kinda show who's boss.
But,
Go ahead.
I thought the plan was just to conquer, not to pillage. As Achille speaks before he can really think.
Mm. This is straight from the crown, after all. Roll an insight.
You got it, boss man.
This is so fitting, though.
Yeah, very fitting.
Seems legit. After all, the crown signed your paycheck. Anyways, all of you get your rest tonight. Move out at first light. 192 will be here first thing in the morning to cast water walking or water breathing, and lung strider for you to head to Sandgil through the water. John stands up. I mean, if this is from the crown, who am I to argue?
And if you'll make a deception check to hide his obvious discomfort.
Go for it.
That is a... not showing up.
You got a 16.
Ah, okay.
John definitely sees it. However, Carmen does not. You do feel a hand on your shoulder from John.
Okay.
Kind of like you have a rapport with Jean,
Yeah.
knowing like that's kind of a signal to we'll talk later. Kind of like I'm sensing something, but
Yeah.
I don't want to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, that's good to know for a moment. Carmen stands up, brushes themselves off. All right, 169. You all get some sleep. And you watch as Carmen walks off and away. As you are standing there, the rest of the unit walks into the tents. John and you are still by the fire. Something's not right.
We're in the invading army. Makes sense. We're going to hurt people. Ezekiel says it's hard to tell if it's more so a comfort to himself or to Jean.
Mm-hmm. To hurt children?
The world's cruel. Takes from the weakest first.
It's not like Carmen to go along with it so freely like they were.
Power corrupts. Easy path to promotion. Do what you're told.
Akil, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh. I don't know. My Foundry isn't showing me my rolls.
It's an 11.
Okay, good to know.
You start feeling really sleepy. You see John kind of rubbing his eyes. Let's get some sleep.
Understood.
These tents are pretty big. There's about 4 to 5 men to a tent. So they're not the most comfortable.
But they'll do.
They will do. But the next morning arises. John is the first one up. I believe Akil would be the second one. He's overlooking the torrent. And you can see just straight across from you, barely visible because at this point is one of the widest points of the torrent, which is about a good 1.5 miles away. So it's a point. You can see ships docked there. Can't really see if there's any people moving about. I'm actually going to roll a perception for Jean. Because you're a rogue. Definitely does not notice you.
Yeah, just slinking up, basically, to describe it. I will say, probably before even fully exiting the tent, Achille is going to very quietly. He's going to pray. The gods exist, that much is something you can't deny. He just doesn't much think they care about people.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll send up a prayer in Elvish very faintly. And it'll be one to Shmala, his mother's god. If they must die, please, please, please let it be kind. Before fully exiting the tent and slinking up behind Jean.
Mm-hmm.
Would you care for me to roll a stealth or just use...
No. He rolled a 3 on a perception.
Oh, yeah, there's a...
To
To give context to audience, Achille has a plus 13 to stealth.
Yeah. The modifier alone.
Yeah.
Do you say
Captain Monroe?
anything? I was supposed to say, do you say anything or do you just touch or whatever?
Probably just quietly says, Captain Monroe.
Oh. Achille. Sorry. She's like eating some granola. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
It's no issue.
I couldn't sleep last night. I slept for a while, thanks to whatever was in our food. But, after I woke, I, sat here by the river. I don't feel comfortable with attacking a schoolhouse full of children. Carmen knows full well that schoolhouse is going to be full.
The way of the world, I suppose. The kind will turn cruel when it benefits them.
I've never known Carmen to be like that, though. Like, you've known them long enough.
As Achille takes a few moments to formulate thought, he's never been good at speaking to other people. Perhaps we just don't know them that well.
I hope that's all it is. How'd you sleep?
Poorly.
We all did. Time to rouse the others. 192 will be showing up.
And Skill will start,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll just start waking people up.
Yeah. Jean definitely heads away to greet the other unit. But eventually, the rest of the unit wakes up. And eventually, Jean returns with 192. There's about 10 mages. Most of them wizards. There is a sorcerer. But they all do cast their spells on you guys. This unit definitely is of much higher level for player knowledge. So they can cast their spells at a much higher level to get more people. You all see, you see them all wearing this band around their head. And this is allowing them to be able to concentrate on 2 spells.
Ooh. Fascinating.
Since both Longstrider and Water Breathing are both concentration spells.
I just assumed it was going to be like a scroll situation.
Nah.
Technically, the soldiers casting Longstrider on themselves, and then the others casting Water Breather.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating. Band.
But yeah. So once everybody's been set, Jean looks to the rest of you. All right, soldiers. Sandgil's ahead of us. Let us move. And Jean is the first into the water. It takes you about 5 minutes, thanks to Longstrider, to cross over to the docks of Sandgil. And as you come up out of the water, you can see one guard standing. You specifically see one guard standing there, and you just see to your right one walking away. You can see the guard like kind of shifting their gear a little bit. It almost looks like they just arrived here and was like, well, nothing actually happened, so this is where I'll put my gear on, my armor on.
Shift change type
Yeah.
stuff.
But because Sandgil is so peaceful, why come fully armored when I can just put it on when I get there? So you see them putting on a gauntlet.
Kill. Sorry.
You can see John look over to you and just give you a nod.
Ezekiel will very quietly, and I don't know how you rule this, Shailene, but can weapon attacks be attempted non-lethally?
Depending on the status of the weapon, like what the properties of the weapon, I should say.
Okay.
Are you trying to do a non-lethal attack with a bow or with a dagger?
It would probably, thinking about it, it would make more sense for a dagger to be able to be non-lethal. Mostly, is just using it as a fulcrum to choke someone.
Mm-hmm.
So it would probably be with a dagger.
Okay. So with that, roll your stealth.
You got it. I have no idea what I rolled. There's probably a...
27.
Oh!
Woo! This guard is like you are literally, you and the guard are facing each other. You watch as the guard spins around to pick up a piece off the ground, and that's when you do it. You slip out of the water. You head to where their back would be. They pick up the piece and it's starting to put on their chest plate. Their hands are above their head. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
You got it. And since this is from hidden, this would be with advantage.
Mm-hmm. Thank God for advantage.
Oh, what'd I roll?
You rolled an 18 and a natural 1.
Oh! That would be very funny.
For a total of 27. But... Sure enough, you go. How do you, quote-unquote, attack?
I imagine with it, she sort of... basically a strike to the throat and then choke.
Mm-hmm.
Basically not cutting the throat, but very much preventing the ability to scream for a
yeah.
moment.
You're essentially knocking them out.
Yeah.
Easy enough. You strike, and you watch as, thankfully, the chest plate drops onto their shoulder. And you go. You catch them and help them ease down and kind of situate them so they look like they just kind of leaned up against the building and fell asleep. What do you do?
He'll sort of give a nod to his captain, waiting for orders.
Of course. You then watch, just for ease, I'm only going to move this one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But members start coming out and start heading up this path with Jean leading them. And actually, I will pull Jean out. What do you do?
Well, he'll sort of slink in between buildings, relying on... He's always relied on not being seen. He will... Part of him is looking for a moment out, but still a larger part of him is still following orders, trying to, They're going to be hurting people, but Achille wants the least amount of people to be hurt.
Mm-hmm. Alright. You watch as the rest of your unit takes to the alleys. John goes and heads this way. Another unit heads through this way. Which way do you go?
Probably, actually, seeing as how where he is positioning-wise, and he'll probably go through this direction.
Alright.
Slinking in between. Also possibly clambering, sticking / climbing to the sides of... I don't know how tall these buildings are next to the dock, but if they are of, like, comfortably 3 or 4 stories, then probably somewhere along the walls there.
Mm-hmm.
sort of keeping himself above ground.
You watch as Jean slinks through this small little alleyway and takes out another guard. Knocks him unconscious. And sets him against the wall. And you can see him motioning. There's the schoolhouse. You watch as one of your unit mates lights a torch. Make a perception.
You gotta.
You can clearly see the pain on John's face. He does not want to do this. He does not want to do this. He does not want to give this order. But with a hand in the air and not even looking, he motions for the torch to be thrown. Several torches from around land near the schoolhouse. And all of a sudden, you see it go up in flames. And not but a few minutes later, you hear screams.
I will say it, the sound. Achille does something he at least thinks is obscenely stupid. As he'll, just without thinking, just in sheer adrenaline and a mix of terror, he drops from his place, hidden up in those walls, and he sprints. He runs as fast as he can. And tries to find any doorway, entrance, fuck, a window even.
There's a window right here.
Sort of wrapping himself in his cloak, trying to, at the very least, protect himself a little from the fire. He'll dive in, just not really caring much about the glass. Trying to...
You bust through the window. As you're busting through, you do see a couple of children run out the front. You hear just screams and shouts, guards rushing towards the schoolhouse. You see just beyond some of the blazes a pair of children that look to be around the same age as your two youngest siblings.
And Achille keeps moving. He doesn't think, he doesn't plan. He just goes, grabs, or tries his best to grab both and force them out of the building, really, is the best way to describe it.
You
Discaring about flame, slamming himself at a door if he must, really just sort of moving more like an animal than a man, for lack of a better term. Just all instinct, no higher thought.
exactly.
Because I presume this is all going in seconds.
Yeah. You grab the two children and you feel their arms grab onto you because they don't see you as an enemy, they see you as somebody who's trying to help them. You make your way to the front, close to the front door, but do you allow yourself to be seen? Or do you stay just within the shadows?
Gil isn't thinking. He's allowing himself to be seen as he's, I'll keep it real, probably tossing these children out of the front door. And then sprinting back in to see if there's any more.
As you are essentially tossing these children out, you can
Probably yelling someone on them. Run!
You
Find your friend. Leave!
You
Just yelling at these children to leave.
You see guards rushing towards the alleyways. But you think nothing of it and turn back. Roll a d20.
You got it.
Okay.
I have no idea.
It's an 8. This is more of just like how many children, because there's now currently 20 still within the building. You start moving and you start helping kids. In fact, one of them, there's a window right next, and you just kick it out and drop the child outside. They're only falling a few feet, and they don't get hurt, but you just drop them outside. Roll a dexterity with disadvantage, because by now you're starting to inhale smoke.
You got it. Pure dexterity check.
Pure dexterity.
Cool.
It's a 10 and a 7. With that 7, it's a 12.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a 7 total.
No. As you dropped that last child that you helped, you hear the cracking of beams breaking above you. And before you could react in time, you feel part of the flames lick the side of your face. And you feel your skin just start to burn.
Choked whimpers, best way to describe it. Exit his throat. Still thick with smoke, I would presume.
Yeah. You hear a couple more children still within the building, but the sound of battle is just reaching within the building. You hear John shout out, "Men, fall back! Fall back!" You hear about 3 more children.
Question.
Yes.
Since Achille does have from that burglar's pack a crowbar, which does, benefit for lifting and breaking of things.
Mm-hmm.
Can he use that to, get an advantage on saving these last few? If it's a door, sort of using it as just so jamming it into the crevice and slamming it against it to act as a lever. Forcing his body past its limits is the best way to describe it.
Yeah. It does definitely help. Go ahead and roll athletics.
You got it.
This lowers the crowbar lowers the DC.
Cool. But the fact that I can't see the rolls makes this infinitely more stressful.
Don't worry. You passed. Barely, but you passed.
Very fitting.
That 15 DC went down to a 12. You rolled a 13.
Ooh, lovely.
Total. You go and you pry open the last door. You can see there's a window. But you see one of the older children. There's two younger children and older children, and the child is trying to push the window open, but it's not moving. You can see at the very top the lock is jammed.
The window's made out of glass, right?
Absolutely.
Ezekiel will just sort of throw the crowbar to crack it. Ignoring shattering glass, hoping that it will shatter outward instead of inward. And since this would be a thrown weapon.
Yep. So go ahead and just use the dagger.
Yeah, I was gonna.
For this, but go ahead and roll an attack. Do you shout anything to the child to duck?
Get out of the way!
Go ahead and roll, for the fun of it, roll damage.
Got it. Can this add sneak attack? He is sneak attacking this fucking window.
Absolutely. Go for
Yippee.
it. That window doesn't know you're coming.
Sorry. I have no idea how much damage I rolled, but I hope it was a lot.
It was plenty. Yippee! You throw that crowbar. The kid ducks out of the way just in time. What do you do?
Get out of the window! Now! Ezekiel's probably retching on smoke while grabbing a few of these kids and half dragging, half throwing them out, trying to make sure even if he dies here, he doesn't want them to.
As you get to the window to help the youngest get handed off, I should say, the youngest one grabs you. Come on, it's safe.
Achille will... Is this window large enough for an adult to get through?
Yes.
Achille will sort of shake that child's hand off and sort of... Because you said these were the last three that he could hear in the building, correct?
Yeah.
Achille will go out. He'll sort of... Best way to describe it is sort of toss himself over, since I would presume, mixed with both, a wooden beam falling on you, mixed with getting a large burn over your face. Probably very physically exhausted. Run, find your mothers or your fathers or someone. Leave, run!
Oh, okay. And the three of them run off. You are now essentially on this side of the building.
Sort of... Ezekiel... There's a small angry part of him that is somewhat happy, because he assumes with how Monroe's words were choked off that Monroe died there. There's a small angry part of him that's somewhat happy of it. Part of him was hoping until the last minute that the order wouldn't be followed. Though even in his, I'll keep it real, some extremely exhausted state, since he is not used to this sort of immense exertion in such a short time. He'll probably wander off and try to find some sort of small alley.
Okay.
Because his body is on the brink of passing out. He didn't sleep well the night before and was already tired in the morning, and then into this.
Where do you wander off to?
I imagine he finds himself not able to go too far, just sort of clambering into, because it seems like to be a taller tree, just clambering himself into there. And part of him is keeping watch, and then that part of him just passes out.
Roll a perception check. But this is kind of in your final conscious moments.
You got it. Do-do-do-do.
With that dirty 20,
Oh!
you see a little scene over here. You see this almost 7-foot half-orc man just barely seeing a human male buff. Like, he looks like he probably is an ex-sailor.
Fights bears for fun type looking.
Oh, yeah. And you can see a half-elven girl, probably no older than the age of 19, maybe early 20s. You can see the half-orc push the girl behind him and start swinging while grabbing a shield off his back and start swinging a sword. Governess, be careful! Galvanus is like, of course, buddy. You see him punching a lot of Villian soldiers. And just as you start to close your eyes, you watch as there's a shimmer over this half-elven female before she blips out. Then you see people pile onto the human. Kind of all dead. And then you pass out. You don't know for how long you were unconscious. But eventually you start rousing awake. As I'm quickly setting up the next scene. I'm trying to remember where I can fix this. Give me just a moment.
Take as long as you need. But it actually might give me time to try and figure out why the rolls are being cut in from me, or at the very least just to reset my foundry. Yep, there we go. Yeah, that was plenty of damage.
Yep. Let me move. That's the problem. Okay, there we go. The light was giving me a bit of a finagling here. As you finally wake up, you feel heat coming very close to you. You can see flames are right next to the tree you're in.
Ezekiel will sort of half fall, half climb his way down out of it.
Mm-hmm. But the sound of battle has finally stopped. It's... Take a deep breath. As you look around, you can see just Villian soldier after Villian soldier on the ground. Where are you? And there's like this quiet about
As a large part of Akil wants to grieve, while the more rational mind, one he has relied on for most of his life now, tells him to keep moving. He's in enemy territory, and if he's found, he'll die. So he'll... Approximately what time of day is it? Like, looking up, what time does it seem to be?
it seems to be probably close to noon.
Then Akil will sort of try to dust some of the probable soot and dirt from his cloak and bring it tightly around his form, trying to hide his uniform. And slink off, trying to find a new place to hide. Somewhere that's less likely to be touched by flame.
It definitely is very odd that there's very little sound. It's almost as if like the world itself has paused. You can hear small chatters from a distance.
Akil will sort of try and lean an ear, see if he can pluck anything useful from the little bits of chatter he hears, but still try to, well, mostly avoid it. He'd rather not know things than be found right now.
Go ahead
Even in
and
this... Oh, sorry.
go ahead and roll a perception.
You got it. $19.
You hear chatter. So all of them are gone? Done for? Dead? I believe we got them all. Though, not without fatalities of our own. How many of our units are gone? Of the guards, 4 civilians, though. Wait, civilians were killed. Sir, there was a lot of fatalities that are civilian. Mainly closer to the docks. And we have one that's missing. One that's unaccounted for. You hear a fist hit a wall. How many civilians? About 40, sir. Damn it! What is the makeup of those fatalities? Mostly adults, sir. One child looks like it was just caught in the slash. Most are men. A few women. May our vents ferry their souls into eternal, peaceful rest. Sir, you should know that Calvinus Marlin, the owner of Prickers Dozen, is among the casualties. And, according to Kissinger, Sarah Lynn is missing. What? That is the last thing we needed. How's Kissinger holding up? After all, it's his best friend. Practical knees. Not good, sir. You know, he was recently... Yes, I know. Lady Fortune. That's it. That's all you hear.
Akil will sort of slink off. Best way to describe it, skulk, even. Trying to keep away from where he hears people. Sort of ruminating and rotting, and that feeling of a job well done.
As you are slinking and skulking, you look and can see every single face. And then you spot John. You can see where his heart lays is a big open wound.
As Kyo struggles to say something, voice somewhere between tears and still suffering a little from that smoke inhalation. I hope wherever you are is kinder next time, John. So you'll continue. You can't afford to spend too much time grieving. Not right now, not here.
Mm-hmm. Roll a perception check for me.
You gotta. That's 14.
Mm-hmm. As you are continuing to skulk in the shadows, you're half expecting to see one of your very good friends, Major Carmen Durant. Can't seem to find them. You see Louis Dubois, the captain of 182. You see Bernard Agreste, captain of 190. You know Major Carmen Durand was supposed to be in the fight as well. Can't spot them.
There's the one who gives the order gets to go home safely. As if Akil had the energy, he'd be enraged. If he had the bravery, he'd be screaming. But he's just doing what he can to survive. In truth, probably, despite how it disgusts him, probably taking a few coins from corpses. He'd been sending all of his money back. Well, they're dead. They don't need it.
You see a few children crying, women crying as you continue to slink in the shadows. You see fires being slowly put out. The attack, you can tell, probably lasted all but a few minutes. Buildings burned. Streets covered with blood. Hearing the children cry and the women cry takes your mind back to a couple of days. The first day being when you got word that Andre and Louis had passed in a mine collapse. The wailing that you heard your mother. Started to break you then. Your father, grandfather could only console her so much. But you made a vow to yourself that you would honor them in the best way you could. But yet you were a little jealous. And it made you hate them all at the same time. How dare they leave you? How dare they leave the family? But the family started to heal. Go ahead.
At that, well, best way to describe it is memory. He'll sort of, well, set himself to the ground, half sitting, half really just laying there. Palms thick and scrunched over. He calls it his cloak, but in his mind it's still Andre's. That dagger, placed right next to his heart, lovingly cared for despite its damaged blade. Louis' carving knife. He'll just mutter out something softly. Seems I'm in the same boat. Seems we both failed to get to him when they promised the way. Brothers. As for the first time in the day, a few stray tears will make its way down there. Achille's face stinging against that still fresh wound of the burn.
After sitting there, the memory of Ariel passing.
She was so small.
The wail of your mother again. You can hear your sister Charlotte. How dare you let her die? Just stings.
Back then, Achille remembered screaming back at her, remembered how their shared anger shook the house. Remembered leaving, wandering for a few months, and returning home with certain benefits of certain criminal action. And newly fettered hatred. A meager recompense for loss.
The pain over your eye, while a different kind of pain made you think back to when you had to dig Ariel's grave yourself. Because no one else wanted to do it. You remember Charlotte shoving the shovel into your hands.
You hated her then? He nearly took a swing at her with it before stopping himself. Made sense they couldn't dig it. A body fresh with pox could still infect. Hell, even getting close to him was a danger. Doesn't mean it didn't hurt. Doesn't mean that pit still isn't there deep in his gut. He felt them. Felt her. Constantly destroying what little he loves. As Achille sort of... he thinks about his mother, really. Thinks about how she'll wail. If everything goes well, he's a dead man. And they'll get a letter back. Maybe his grandfather will help her. But it'll be a cold comfort. Same when Andre and Louis died, same when Ariel died, same when his father died. As I think on that revelation of what his possibly faked death. He doesn't know if he's going to survive the next coming days either way. He'll sort of just curl in on himself, probably in some dark corner. Mutter a few apologies to his long lost faith in deities. So he mostly just mutters it to the wind, apologizing to people he knows can never hear him. To a mother who he broke his promise to a grandfather he knows he's disappointed for hopefully the last time. To sisters who deserved a better brother, and to brothers who deserved a better sister. There's nothing he can really do about that, now can he? Stuck. Countries away. In all except physical. Dead.
One thing flashes through your mind. To kind of wrench that dagger a little bit more. Clementine's face. When she arrived home. After spending some time in one of the dwarven cities, learning her trade of a stonemason, to find out Ariel was gone. Hearing Charlotte go on and on how it was your fault. The pure disgust she had on her face.
Gil didn't blame her then. He was angrier then. Now it makes sense. Charlotte was right after all. Clementine was right to feel disgusted. He let sickness in. By all rights, it should have been him buried in the dirt instead of Ariel. But fate is cruel, and crueler still is the world for forcing it.
You can hear Loop in the background. Sisters, please. It is not our brother's fault. Trying to ease the anger, though it was in vain. You could hear the names of Andre and Louis shouted. And you feel arms around you. You look over and you see Claire. Achille, it's not your fault.
Don't Claire, please don't try. Don't. Achille muttered denials of her statement for a while back then.
You see Alexei and Marcus sitting next to you. Young themselves. Not really knowing what to do.
Not understanding death yet, I would bet. Imagine Kill probably would have tried to comfort them in the little ways he knew how. Told a few stories, they weren't very good. Tried to speak of how Ravens would protect her in her journey to wherever we all go once we're gone. It didn't do anyone much good. But it was an attempt.
Time passes. Your 3 younger siblings were born. Arthur and Audrey. And then Camille. The 3 of them not knowing of the pain. Hearing stories about Andre and Louis from Claire and Alexei. Clementine barely home. Charlotte barely home.
Probably around the point Gil started poaching. Started stealing quietly from merchants if he could. It's unfair, even if he was gone more than a few nights himself, he still judged Charlotte and Clementine for being gone. It's unfair. Matters of the heart are rarely fair. And we are rarely so just as to judge others fairly, and to judge ourselves in that same metric.
Lupe and Marcus always try to make it a point to visit home. Lupe always in tow with Marcus.
Makes sense. It's dangerous for the blind to travel alone.
The pain of watching your older sister get hurt just joins the pain that you are already feeling.
There's a small morbid levity. Depending on how that burn heals, you'll be blind too.
fire was a wolf of its own, hungry, feasting on anything it can touch. Suppose didn't much matter. She saved him then, if he was going to get eaten now, too. It's cruel levity, but it's a levity nonetheless.
That night, you just fall asleep. Curled up. Trying to get some semblance of sleep. The next morning you wake, and it is raining yet again. Gloomy day for gloomy time. Do you dare venture out to see if maybe you can find some sort of food? Or do you stay in your little hole?
He'll probably get up and venture. Keeping his cloak tight, trying to keep it closed as much as possible.
Go ahead.
Ever so faint part of him wants someone to find him, to put him down.
Go ahead and roll stealth.
17.
As you venture out, and kind of positive, morbid way, you can see the blood being washed away. As you walk, you can see in your mind's eye where bodies once laid. Guards notice you, but they just give a nod. Some say, "Be careful."
He'll probably just
Go ahead.
silently return the nods, trying to keep his voice down.
One of them even says to you, "Hurry up. We're still investigating the attack from yesterday. We need the streets cleared."
Good. And he will quickly, or as quickly as he can without being suspicious, just leave. Try and, well, subsist, for lack of a better term.
Do you head towards the docks on this walk?
Probably.
Roll a perception.
You got it. Dirty 20.
As you're passing by the docks, you can see in the distance where your camps were. Some boats along the shore. You can just barely make out the guard uniform of those guards you saw here in Sandgil. You can see things moving about. You recall the carts that you all had being moved about. You see a large ship heading out into the torrent and kind of crossing diagonal. Looks like it's heading towards the port town on the other side.
Mm.
You can see the carts heading over to the port town. Also, with that dirty 20, excuse me, you hear a gnomish female. Well, what are you saying that they found some evidence over on the other side? And you have to use one of my boats. The half-orc that you saw just before passing out. Supposedly they are the camps of those soldiers that attacked yesterday. She looks over. Kissinger, what are you doing here? You lost your best friend, and the starter went missing. You sure you're up for working? I am. If I don't work, we'll never. You hear him trail off. You hear her sigh. You spot her standing on a barrel. Or not standing, she hops up on a barrel so she could be eye to eye with him.
Mm-hmm.
Kissinger. We'll be okay. After all, let's make stories. We're used to handling things ourselves. Plus, I got Sauvignon. Go home. Admiral Simwala. Go home. Before I knock into next century. You see her try to lighten his feeling. He can't quite see Kissinger's face just based on the angle. But you see where he once had straight back just slump. Watching for a few moments later, you can see the telltale signs of crying. You can see Semala pat him on the shoulder and then hug him the best she can. Kissinger, go home. We'll be alright. I promise. We're all shocked that Sarah Lynn is missing. But if anyone needs a new one right now, it's Marina. Go. Kissinger, you kind of see, lifts his head. Then as he turns, you can see his face. He looks extremely exhausted.
Those that Achille will stop spying, for lack of a better term. Try to, even if his presence isn't noticed, it's rude to listen and to eavesdrop. So he'll keep wondering, sort of let them be alone in their privacy, even so much as he partially invaded it.
Mm-hmm. As Kissinger walks by, you hear Samala be like, "All right, lads. Let's get to work. Let us prepare the docks for when they bring that boat back in. We're gonna have carts, horses, whatever else they may find." You see the dock workers start running and preparing the docks as you continue on by. Where do you head to?
Probably really just anywhere where people aren't congregating. Just trying to look for some meager food, perhaps a small animal, a rat or a bird. Something that can be easily prepped and eaten to stave off a day of hunger.
With it being rainy, there's really not that many people out anyways, but birds are kind of nestled in the trees, but you do see a few rats scurrying along in the alleyways.
As probably one passes just by, he'll take not Louis' dagger, but standard issue, just one given to him by the military as a sidearm. Throw it. Catch the rat.
Easy enough. Catch the rat.
Well, Food is food, even if it's a rat. Gently prep it.
You have time to spin in your thoughts again. What pops up in Achille's mind on this day?
Guilt. Sorrow. An acknowledgement that, by all rights, maybe it wouldn't have changed anything, maybe it would have changed everything, but that first moment at the docks, he caught the man, he knocked him out. If that fellow was able to scream, or even if his breastplate hit the ground, people could have been alerted. Perhaps some of the death, some of the loss that both Sandgil and his unit experienced would be, well, wouldn't have happened. And grief. He's allowed a quiet moment to just don't think he cries, but he does sort of just curl in on himself while, well, preparing isn't really an accurate term. It's mostly just skinning this meager meal. He grieves both his comrades and the people his comrades killed. He doesn't know faces, he barely knows names. But they were innocent. They were just people. They were fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters and children. And they will be grieved. And that grief will rip people apart. And that's probably what's going on through Achille's mind, probably for most of that day.
As you sit there, roll a perception. Oh, that was so close.
17.
That was so close to being a 20 on my screen.
Yeah.
I was so hoping for it.
Still,
17's good.
yeah.
You hear, just by people passing by, 2 guards. So all of the children made it out. Yeah. One of the children said there was this guy that helped him. But, yeah, all the children survived. It was a miracle. The youngest one said that her and her older sibling and their friend were trapped. So this guy came busting in, saved them. At least that's one good news that comes out of this. You hear them walk off.
Hearing that, Q will probably stop his spiral of sorrow, as it were. Gently, softly, you'll bring up one of his hands and touch that burn. Still fresh, probably hiss in pain as his fingers touch it, forgetting that, well, touching a fresh burn will hurt. But the ever so faintest smile crosses his face. At least you did one good thing. Or at the very least, he made it so one evil thing was less terrible. And with that thought, he'll probably... assuming it's later in the day, since, wandering around the city took most of the time. He'll probably pass out again, just sort of let himself drift off into rest.
The next day comes. It's not raining anymore. The sun is shining. You can hear people moving through the streets. With a 19 passive,
Mm-hmm.
you can pick up some conversations, but the one that sticks out to you the most. Yeah. Looks like they covered a lot of their equipment with wares and stuff. So that's how they've been getting through countries. How they're able to do these conquests. Another one you pick up. There was about 6 different camps. Looks like Samala recovered everything. Another one you hear. Petra! Petra! Over here! Over here! And then, as the day draws to evening, do you wander around at all that day?
Sorry, I'm just also checking dates with the calendar, since this would be about 1 day before party arrives in Sandgil, or 2 days?
1 day.
Okay.
It should be 1 day, if I remember correctly.
Cool. And yeah, Achille will wander, just sort of. It's a little bit like a form of faint self-flagellation, forcing himself to acknowledge the destruction he has, even if only partially, helped rot. And also just sort of examining where he is right now, looking for a easier way out, seeing as how in his previous days he probably saw that gates and such were much more well guarded than he had heard. seeing as how people were on high alert. So, just wander the city.
I'm checking one thing. Of course, it's not where I think it is.
'Tis life.
It is. For those that are watching the VOD, welcome to the madness of the calendar.
Yes. It's a very nice calendar, I will say.
I am trying my hardest. But, where is it? Because, of course, it's not in the place that I wish it was at. So I had to go to the other place where it should be at. So no. Let's see here. Tintani. So first of Tintani is when the attack on Sandgil happens.
Okay.
Which means the second attack on Sandgil is about a week-ish later.
Ookary dookary.
Actually, it's 2 weeks later. Almost 2 weeks. Like a day off. So you would have some time through all of this to just hide. For some reason, I thought the attack was later, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Happens to the best of us. Dates are hard.
Yeah.
Especially dates in a D&D game, when time is a little bit wibbly-wobbly. So I suppose for those, those weeks, he'll probably spends his time, as said, subsisting off of a few animals. Probably a total of a couple rats.
Yeah.
Mostly only eating when pain gets to it. Spending his time examining and hiding both. Trying to find a safe way to exit the city.
Yeah.
And, well, not finding it.
Eventually, as one of your days closes, in your time in Sandgil, you hear the sounds of screams again. What do you do? They are distant, but you hear them.
Because I imagine Achille is exhausted, tired, basically just sort of running on autopilot here. He does the stupid thing and he moves towards them. He follows the screaming.
Mm-hmm. As you move towards the screams, the telltale signs of fire start to come quite clear. You smell structures burning. You hear the screams of women and children as they run.
He does what he did last time. A part of him that he doesn't really understand, but he's following anyway. Tries his best to help, even if he doesn't really know how. Be that just telling people which direction is safe, or actively helping them out of said building again. It's foolish, but it's what he does.
As you run towards the fire, you break out of an alleyway and just see this. You've been around Sandgil for a while, so you've kind of come to know a little bit of the districts. The entire district around the big temple is on fire.
Well, he was going to keep doing what he was, well, not really, planning's the wrong term, but intended to do. Listens for people, tries to help them. Continue until, well, he can't hear people anymore.
Roll perception.
You got it.
And I'm going to let you do this at advantage.
Ooh, have fun. That is a 26.
As you are trying to help people, you see this figure in the distance. You hear it laugh. Come challenge me if you so dare. And you watch as it jumps into the open roof of the temple. You see that it was a black color. Spikes all over its body. You hear screams.
sorry.
You'll hear screams coming from the temple as you watch as people run out of it. You'll hear the guards. Hurry! We need to put the fires out. Is there anybody that's hurt? We have injuries, but no fatalities. Let's keep it that way. You watch as a couple of guards run into the temple. You sit there as you're helping others go. And then you hear the laughter ring out. And one guard runs out with fear on his face. You see closed, cinched.
Heal is, since I presume by this point most civilians have gotten away from the area, correct?
Correct.
Achille's at heart a coward. He may care for people, he's not about to throw himself in front of a devil for them. Especially not one that's something he can't understand. Since I presume it was speaking in Infernal when it said, "Come challenge me if you dare," or was that just common?
Roll a general intelligence.
You got it. $12.
It was infernal.
Alrighty. So yeah, Achille, who knows Infernal, isn't about to fucking deal with that. He's exhausted, still wounded a little, and on the brink of collapsing at all times. He'll, after trying to get as many people out as he could, he'll leave. Away from the Temple District, probably towards more commercial and residential areas.
As you start running, you see two figures head towards the temple. One, elven male, tall but has a pretty decent beard. The other, a lithe human. You recognize the movement, as you yourself utilizes the same kind of movement. But they both run towards the temple. And as you just slink into another alleyway, you hear this rumble that finally settles. And then rain starts falling. You can hear the fire being extinguished. As you continue to move away, you move out of the rain.
Sorry, this is Crow making sure, because I'm still a bit finicky with these dates. This would be the thing that the two were dealing with before assisting the party, correct?
Correct.
Cool.
This actually would be a few days before the party arrives.
And, well, Achille will, I'll be completely honest, still nearly on the brink of starvation, seeing as how he's been eating rats for the past month-ish. And deeply exhausted. Probably just going to find somewhere to, well, pass out and continue his, vagabond lifestyle, if you will. Since, well, big issue seems to be sorted. And, well, a few more people sleeping on streets is a bit less suspicious after both a military and infernal attack.
Over the next couple of days, you continue to do what you do. Part of your curiosity to make sure people are still safe, foolishness, as you may call it, leads you back over to the Temple District. Do you stay within the shadows or do you try to help?
Thinking about it, Akil probably tries to help. Has probably used some thread, hell, even just like a knife to quickly make a hole in his cloak and tie it shut.
Mm-hmm.
Probably limiting his movements, but making it less likely to showcase his uniform while he's assisting people.
Mm-hmm. After helping look through several piles of rubble, actually finding a couple of people alive that just got trapped. Someone goes over and hands you a few pieces of gold as a thanks. Please take it.
Alright.
Go.
And he'll very quickly pocket them.
Mm-hmm.
Are you alright?
I'm good. Thank you. We still got about 30 or so that are still missing, but I have good faith that they're all alive. Thank you for your help. Go rest. You look exhausted.
Understood. And sort of, well, the person's right. He is exhausted. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He'll go find somewhere to rest. Probably not an inn, but
Yeah. The next day, you wake up. Strangely, you got some actual rest that night, but you still feel exhausted, but your stomach is growling.
suppose Akil will do a thing he has been debating for probably 2 weeks now. And he will actually go towards the, damn it, why am I forgetting the name of the tavern? The Baker's Dozen?
Breakers.
Breaker's Dozen.
Yeah. You head on to the Breaker's Dozen. And as you enter in, you see an elven female stand there. Sit wherever you want. You see this large automaton behind the bar. Welcome to Breaker's Dozen.
As a sheer surprise and confusion, he's never seen one of these things in motion before. Akil will sort of take a place in the corner. Probably in that same seat that we see him in 35.
In fact, you had seen this group enter and then leave. After only being there for about an hour. And then about 2-ish hours later, you see that group return. After you see a couple come in and sit on the ground in one of the front tables. And as that group enters, you watch as a canine comes and sits right next to your feet. And that is where
Is
we
where
will
we'll
end.
end off. Hee.
Woo! So, how you doing?
It's wonderful. I love putting this anxious little bitch through the washing machine.
Oh. Well, I believe that is where episode 35 picks up,
I believe so, yes.
where we get to meet Achille. Thanks
Yeah.
to some shenanigans of a wolf.
Of a wonderful dog, though Achille would disagree.
But with that, we will catch you guys in the next one.
See you, nerds.
Bye-bye.
Bye.